Hello Rover fans. This is going to be a bit of a strange video because I'll be doing this introduction now, having done what I'm about to show you. Bit odd, but basically I've been repairing the front seats, or trying to create 2 good seats out of 4 bad ones. So the video will start in a minute with me hosing down some seats and scrubbing them silly with some foaming upholstery cleaner or carpet cleaner, which was done I think last summer, or like 6 months ago or so. A lot of the video footage is corrupted. It's got no sound, or it's played at silly speeds, but nevertheless I thought I'd show it. But what happened was I had the 2 front seats from the car that were originally in it. That is not one of them. That is basically one that I've fixed back together. So I had the 2 crap ones, then I got sent 2 more crap ones, but it was worth it because they happened to have the right fabric. And then I had to try and unstitch seats and sew things back together. Not very interesting, but that's what happened. So cue some badly edited video footage. Bye. Right, that is all stitched, so I can turn it inside out again, or right way round. See what it looks like. Pretty good. The stitches are left slack enough so that it can straighten out once it's pushed over the backrest. But I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go down the garage and see how it looks on the seat. Right, after a bit of a wait because of Christmas and New Year and post being slow, my hog rings have arrived. These are basically staples. If I can get my hand sorted out. Look like that. Is that focusing? I'm never sure with these GoPros. And they take, or you fit them with a very crude pair of pliers. The jaws have indentations in them, and they're spring loaded, so they grip onto here, and then the idea is you pull the handles and it just crushes that around whatever it is you're trying to fasten. So these are them here. They go through the fabric and then around these rails, or piping to piping. You get the general idea. It's a bit of a fiddle, and of key importance is to get the tension right, which is one of the reasons I didn't take this seat apart yet. I'm still undecided as to whether I'm going to bother repairing this one or not. It's a bit tricky for me to try and attempt that, but we'll see how confident I feel after this one's back together. But yeah, first thing to do is to retie these strings. These are threaded through and concertina and pull up this fabric around the bases of the side panels and get tied off onto here somehow. I'm going to release a couple of the hog rings just so I can remind myself how they do it, but it's up in there somewhere. I just cut a few hog rings down here with the side cutters to show you and remind myself, more importantly, that that is how the strings go. So they both one gets fed up or fed through in front of that bracket and then over the top and tied off around that loop with the other end of it. So that's quite simple. You can find that bracket. There he is. So this one comes through like that, goes around there, and this one comes up here to meet it and it'll get pulled tight. Just need to get rid of all of the old hog rings because I cut them with the side cutters, but they get stuck in the fabric, so we don't want those hanging about. And now what should be the slightly, well, almost fun, satisfying bit, I hope, could also be infuriating, fitting the hog rings. So they go, oh, fiddly fuckers, in there like that. The idea is you thread them through the material and then just, this won't work, I'll explain why, but basically you're supposed to just do that and it puncture a hole and grip it. It doesn't work with this velour because it's just too tough. So what I'm going to have to do is actually manually find all the holes, pre-post the hog ring through it in the right place, so actually thread that through the fabric and then pull the trigger. It won't sort of self-punch itself, if that makes sense. Bollocks. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm just going to use the old ones as a guide, so that should help make sure the tension's right as well. This might take a while. So that's it on through the old holes around the bar, and now I just have to do it probably, I would guess, 30 or 40 times. So yeah, this is going to take a while. That is all on there. It did get a bit quicker. The ones that are right at the edges you can smash through with the pliers. You don't have to pre-thread it. So it looks okay. This piping follows the shoulder pretty well. That side, I might have pulled it a bit too tight here, but I haven't tensioned the front yet. So this thing is stitched to the front pleat. Excuse me. In there. So I can pull that forward, or backwards in fact, to tension it. And that's why I never took this seat apart, because as well as I can try and match up the holes, it's much easier if I can just compare the two seats, and then I can try and get it right. So if I turn this guy around, I can kind of see the amount of belly, the amount that it's pulled in. God, they look even grubbier now than I remember. This is after I wet vac them once already, which is annoying. So I've given that a little bit of a tug. I can kind of see that they would have gone through there and there, like that probably. So we'll try and fire a couple in and see what it looks like. Well, that is on. I have to say, that's pretty good. Pretty happy with my stitching. Looks alright. It's not going to win any awards, but it's on and done, and now I can reassemble that seat. There's a bit of bunching there. What's that? Right, yeah, that is just where this seat would have had a hole for the lumbar adjust. Yeah, this seat feels the same. That's an original one. You don't really notice it until you put your hand on it, but there's a hollow there. That's just how they are. Right, good. I can put a backrest on it. What have I done with those? These cardboard bits. Put one of those on and we should be done. And just need to bolt it to a base and it can go in the car. So here's a good one. Nice fabric. That's just dust. And basically those pegs, the rivets are all still good. The fiberboard hasn't rotted. So that can be shoved in there. A few more hog rings along the bottom. And then this stuff gets wrapped actually around the seat base, so that can just be left dangling free. And then there's a couple of screws that go through here and pick up on the bracket behind there, which will be fun to try and do, but hey, we'll give it a go. I probably should have recorded that just out of smug factor, but those screws under those blue covers, they just went straight through and picked up on that bracket behind. So no idea how that happened, but very jammy. Right, next I need to go through that box of bits and remind myself how the recline mechanism goes back together. Here we have, yeah, first I should say that is a driver's backrest that I've fixed. So I need a driver's seat base. That is all nicely painted up, and the latch mechanism all works. And then I have two bases. This is the better of the two, so I'm going to start with that one. This one I still need to repair that fag burn there, and again some clown has decided to burn cigarettes into it, which is annoying, but I might just have to live with that base as it is, because I've discovered trying to repair panels, that stitch line would be okay to do, but stitching that would be problematic for me without a proper machine. So let's put him on here, then we can build up the driver's seat and put it in the car. Maybe not today, but at least we can get a bit further along. Well, hopefully that was of some use, well, not use, but of entertainment value. This is what that seat looks like now in a bit more detail. I've opened the sunroof so it just shows a bit more light, and here is my Christmas present, a Ryobi torch and drill combo. But yeah, that seat is pretty good, I would say, considering what the car was like. The rear seat is really nice. Headlining obviously is really nice. Pillar trim's going back in. I've only today fitted the center console trim, that looks nice, and the clock. Found a cluster that works. Fitted of yeah, right. Long story short, still haven't fixed this seat. Got issues with that. The stalks and column switches Only after I fitted it did I realise that it was broken. This was the broken one. Basically, there is a little lever here that does the latching for the flash. So when you push it in one direction, it will just flash, and like a momentary switch, and if you pull it towards you, it latches. And basically that piece of nylon there should have a rod that comes out of it here that engages and latches on a pull on the back in there. So it was broken, so I had to cut apart another knackered one, chop through the side of this with a hacksaw, separate it, fit it to the other one, put it all back together again, and then I used a soldering iron to melt. I practiced on this one, but yeah, to melt the nylon back together again. So now in the car I have a working main and flash, so it latches forward and then flashes that way, and it's really nice and solid. Anyway, this video is all about seats. We have driver's seat, which is where I sit, back seat where the ladies go, and then this I can just keep for luggage, I guess. Only joking, I have a plan for that, I just haven't got round to implementing that plan. So anyway, that's the end of the video. See you next time. Bye.